Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
Children are vulnerable because they don't know that they've been scammed. They might not know until 7, 8, 9 years later.
Parents' best wishes can create long-lasting pain for their children this holiday. With the hopes of getting personalized letters from Santa, parents are actually giving their children's personal information to scammers. Valley News Team's Veronica Marshall has our story.
The Christmas season can be magical for kids, and some parents want to make it as memorable as possible.
And we really want them to really feel that kind of magicalness that comes with celebrating the holidays.
People just naturally think of course, we'd want Santa to talk to our kids and call our kids or grandkids by their first names, and why wouldn't we provide them their address?
But a new Santa scam takes advantage of those feelings. Scammers promise to send personalized letters to children from Santa, but what they really want is enough information to steal your child's identity.
Even with just a simple address, first and last name, and maybe middle initial, and all of a sudden you've got all kinds of nefarious activity that could occur.
Child identity theft is on the rise because parents are unaware that this information is being used. And until that child reaches the age of 18, they don't know that their identity was stolen until they start applying for credit.
When it comes to identity theft, there's no quick fix.
It often takes years to untangle and unravel some of those things. And so that's the importance of being vigilant on the front end.
Well-meaning people, we want to do something fun for our children. It's easy to want to do something like this, but just take that extra step of researching before you buy.
One solution is to stay local with organizations you trust. Kids who visit Fargo's Santa Village can meet Santa and his reindeer in person, no strings attached.
Santa Claus really enjoys spending that quality one-on-one time with each kid, and you're getting to know them and making that special connection with them so that they really look forward to him showing up at their house on Christmas Eve.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Another idea is freezing your children's credit. A new law went into effect this year to make the process easy and free for parents. You can find more information about that and Fargo's Santa Village on our website, valleynewslive.com. Police are looking for a man they say is involved in a child neglect case in Trail County. Authorities have arrested this woman, 28-year-old Brittany Messer, in connection with the case as well. Both she and Joshua Messer face a felony child neglect charge. A warrant is out for Joshua's arrest. Brittany is expected to make her first court appearance tomorrow. Complete paperwork has not yet been filed in this case, but stick with Valley News Live as we dig for more information. Our pretty decent day is now changing, and that means drivers could see dicey conditions a little later. Hutch is standing by with the very latest. Hutch?
Yes, indeed. The radar shows active weather making its way through the central Red River Valley. And although it's showing up as snow in the blue and white color table in the Red River Valley, some reports of sleet and icing road conditions, particularly from Grand Forks through Crookston into Thief River Falls. We have some completely covered road surfaces and icy conditions reported just south of Grand Forks. Here's a peek at the East Grand Forks DOT camera out there. Ice accumulating on the lens. Here's a closer look, in that band of snow that you see there is going to have some pockets of freezing drizzle and sleet in it. We have flat out rain down near Ellendale where roads will be wet. As temperatures fall tonight, roads will be quite slippery across the valley, and the potential is there for 1 to 3 inches of snow on top of that ice. So travel using caution. Temperatures staying below zero from the Red River Valley and points off to the east. Here's a look at the winter weather advisory posted. All of this should be wrapped up and out of the region, Andrea, as we go through the late evening and early overnight hours, then some partial clearing, but another round of possible snow in the forecast. I'll have details on all of that here in a minute, but the evening commute, tricky for some.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A man is facing charges of stealing a tow truck and leading police on a wild chase in central North Dakota. On Monday, Mandan police got a call about a stolen truck. When they tried to stop the driver, the tow truck took off on I-94 heading east. Eventually, the truck went off the road and into a field and was found in a slough near McKenzie. The driver has been charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle, fleeing, reckless driving, and driving under suspension. A North Dakota man is headed to trial in March on a charge of child sex abuse. 40-year-old Nathan Tabai of Minto is facing a felony charge of continuous sexual abuse of a child, along with 2 theft charges. The sex abuse case started back in October. Court documents allege that Tabai forced a girl to have sex with him from the time she was 12 until she was 18 years old on an almost daily basis. Tabai is currently being held in the Walsh County Jail. As Congress is getting ready for mass turnover, one of our lawmakers is heading for the exits. Our Washington Bureau's Peter Zampa caught up with Senator Heidi Heitkamp before she leaves her Senate office.
I want to make sure that the legacy that we leave is a legacy of service.
After 6 years on the job and a failed bid for re-election, Senator Heidi Heitkamp joined us for an exit interview. We asked the senator if taking a different turn or two on the campaign trail would have changed the outcome.
These positions that I've taken here isn't because it was, politically expedient. It's because they're things that I believe in.
The writing was on the wall after her no vote on now Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Concerned by allegations of sexual assault, she voted her conscience and perhaps her fate in a state where polls showed broad support for the judicial nominee.
I always approach this job from the standpoint of not, will this make me popular, but how would I look at this decision 20 years from now?
As North Dakota's lone female and Democrat makes her way for Capitol Hill's exit signs, she says she's not going to lose sight of issues close to her, like missing and murdered Indigenous women and international trade.
I hope that I can play a role in engaging in a broader dialogue to actually come up with meaningful and effective solutions.
It's unclear how she'll do this, with her private life future undecided as of now. As for her political future,
can we expect you to run for office in the future at any point?
Because I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah, no.
Heitkamp officially makes her Capitol Hill exit the first week in January. In Washington, Peter Zampa, Valley News Live.
Officials say Heitkamp believes the transition of leaving Capitol Hill will be bittersweet. A major breakthrough today as the U.S. Senate approves a massive farm and agriculture bill covering everything from food stamps to opioid treatments and offering support to farmers suffering through President Trump's trade war. Senators voted 87-13 on the $867 billion legislation. The bill will fund key farm safety net programs for the next 5 years without making significant changes to the food stamp program.
Build on the existing strengths in the Farm Bill, so it's a good bill for North Dakota farmers and ranchers and for our farmers and ranchers across the country. We'd anticipated it would go to the House first, but we got agreement, which is remarkable.
The Farm Bill will now head to the House. With the news of NDSU head football coach Chris Klieman being hired at Kansas State, Valley News Live takes a look at several names that could come up in the search for Klieman's replacement. Here's a list of potential names that could be in consideration. Tim Polasek, current University of Iowa defensive line coach. Brent Vigen, current University of Wyoming associate head coach. Matt Entz, NDSU defensive coordinator. And Courtney Messingham, NDSU offensive coordinator.
We want to hire the best possible person to come in here and take over as the head of this program, understanding that it's different than a lot of football programs out there, a lot of football jobs.
To read more about these 4 potential candidates, head to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story. Speaking of the Bison, make sure to watch the Bison and SDSU, fight it out in Fargo Friday night with a trip to Frisco, Texas on the line. Be sure to tune in at 6 p.m. on KX4 for our Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show prior to Friday night's game, which kicks off at 7 p.m. and can be seen on ESPN2. Not long after a disappointing game against the Seattle Seahawks last night, the Vikings have fired offensive coordinator John DeFilippo. Vikings say Kevin Stefanski will be calling the shots in the interim. The news follows the Vikings' performance Monday night, where they fell 21-7 to the Seahawks, barely showing up for the first 3 quarters of an offense-poor matchup. Christmas break is right around the corner, and you might be contemplating ideas to keep your young kids busy. Crafts are fun, and you can keep it simple. One idea, build a snowflake ornament out of popsicle sticks and peppermint candies, or grab a bag of mini marshmallows and white paint and make a snowman.
It's nice to have something that they can focus on and also provide some learning. So even counting out marshmallows when you're doing the snowman, Also, it's pretty tactile. It works on fine motor skills with putting the gumdrops on the toothpicks.
For more on how to create these projects, head to our website, valleynewslive.com.